Something that is not new to War Thunder is controversial premiums, and in fact this one was added back in update 2.13, which was the Winged Lions update, and that happened back in December of 2021, and I would argue that this aircraft is probably one of the most controversial premiums that War Thunder has ever added. The MiG-21S currently finds itself sitting at a BR of 9.7. Being in the game for the last 5 years, it has seen a lot of different things happen, and not necessarily its change in BR, but other aircraft around its change in BR. What makes the MiG-21S so special is the fact that it is a premium with zero countermeasures, and that is what turns away a lot of players, especially back just a few years ago, when things like the A-10 were added to the game. The A-10 sitting at 10.3 has access to the AIM-9L, which is an all-aspect air-to-air missile, which essentially means the MiG-21 had no way to counter against this. And Gaijin continuously added more aircraft at the BR that the MiG-21S could see that had all-aspect missiles. Eventually things like the A-6, the A-10A late, even things like the Russian Frogfoot, and then eventually things like the AMX A1A, and just the AMX in general. So it kind of made it hard for players to want to play this aircraft because you had no way to defend yourself against IR air-to-air missiles. Before we get any farther in this video, I'd appreciate it if you guys hit that like button and subscribed. Only 11% of my current viewers are subscribed, and I really appreciate the support. Feel free to join the Discord link down below in the description as well. So what makes this aircraft so good in my opinion is a few things. Number one, it's a premium. You're going to use it to grind the tech tree, and it can do that really well. It has a 660% RP booster and a 1350% SL booster, so it's really good at grinding SL. It features the R3R radar-guided air-to-air missile. It has the FM-23, or the 23mm cannon, with a good flight model, so you can dogfight. It also features the shorter-ranged R3S, but I would strongly advise just using, for the most part, the R3R. It also features an RWR, which lets you do beyond visual range engagements with things like the F4C and the F8 Crusader. And you also have rocket and bombs computers, so you can actually use this thing in ground RB if you really want to, with something like the S-24 rockets or the Fab 250 bombs. Now, the MiG-21S, unlike other MiG-21s, has to prioritize a slightly different playing style. Other MiG-21s, like the more formidable and more known MiG-21 SMT or MiG-21 BIS, can use things like the R-60. This is a much better air-to-air missile that allows them to get up close, dogfight, and essentially be able to, come out and engage all these aircraft because they have countermeasures, they have better air-to-air missiles, and even though they're a heavier flight model, they can perform just as well as other aircraft. So you could absolutely go toe-to-toe with an F-5C and a MiG-21 SMT. The MiG-21S cannot do that. You don't have countermeasures. Even though you're a bit more maneuverable, you're also not going to be able to defend yourself if you get slow and you have a rear aspect missile shot at you. You need to keep this thing fast. You need to keep this thing high. Make sure you use your RWR, though, because of things like the F8 and F4. And then you're able to use your R3R, and you actually have a very capable radar when it's in acquirement mode. Normally, your radar's in search mode, but if you push, you can keybind it, but if you have keybinds, you can put it into an acquirement mode. Essentially, just a box you can put over any aircraft within the range of your radar, and it will automatically lock it for you. And then guess what? The R3R, it's very dangerous in this mode. The R3R is essentially what happens when the R3S is stripped down and given a radar-seeking warhead, or radar-seeking seeker. Now, what this allows it to do, essentially, is act like a very early semi-active radar homing missile, which it is. This allows it to actually be pretty formidable at this BR because it doesn't actually give off RWR. It doesn't, the radar will obviously alert, enemy aircraft will see that you're locking them, but they will not be able to see that you've actually fired a missile on them because of the band seeker that the missile uses. They will be able to see you lock them, not necessarily be able to know they're fired upon. Plus, the R3R, you're at a BR where not a lot of people play with countermeasure, with chaff, so the R3R actually is fully capable of hitting these guys if they're slow. I'd strongly suggest looking for targets that are slow out in front of you, because keep in mind, it's not a very maneuverable missile, but it's fast. This is what makes the MiG-21S so good in my opinion, the R3R missile. This allows you to have a missile that you can use in aspects that not a lot of other aircraft can. Compared to what the US has at this BR, like the AIM-7C, not very good, or the AIM-9C if you're in a full up tier against the F-8E, which is phenomenal, but it gives away on RWR, and you're actually able to defend against that missile. Now, the big downside for the MiG-21S, lack of countermeasures. Big upside, R3R, low BR, good flight model. It's very much worth picking up if it's on sale, or if you're just looking for something to grind SL with, or you like the type of playstyle the MiG-21S offers. Now, for being in the game for 5 years, I have to say, it's, aged kind of well. Right now, I think it's like the best it's ever been, in my personal opinion. Maybe from when it was first launched, it was a bit better. When the A10 was added and you had to face all aspect missiles, I saw a lot of people really dislike it then because it was, impossible to use. I've seen a lot of people hate on it because the R3R is annoying, the R3S is annoying, and it really comes down to playstyle. Like I said, you cannot play this like a normal MiG-21. It just won't work that way. You have to play it a little bit differently. And if you can figure that out, or you can figure out a playstyle that works for you, it's absolutely worth using. I actually think this is one of my more favorite premiums to use. I think this thing is phenomenal. I've had it now for probably 2 years, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Like I said before, it has very large RP and SL boosters, so you're able to get a lot of research and a lot of SL per your match. Your matchmaking is 9-7, so you can still see all aspect air missiles, obviously, only 10-3 for the AIM-9L. So you do have to keep that in mind. And you are at a spot where there are a lot of really good rear aspect missiles, like the Mirages with the Magic Ones, and then obviously things like the AIM-9P on other platforms. So you do have to just keep it in mind what you're, when you're playing certain things, to just know that altitude is your friend. You outclimb a lot of things, and if you need to just re-engage, just leave and come back around. That's what makes this thing really good with the R3R, is you can put aircraft out in front of you. If they don't have chaff and you're close enough, there's not a lot of things that they can do to defend against the missile. And that makes it a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a unique playstyle. You're either loving it or you're hating it. And I personally think it's absolutely worth picking up. If you guys don't like it, I mean, you don't like it. Like I said, especially, when it's on sale, if you can get it when it goes on sale for, like, what, 4,000 GE or whatever it would sit at. It's about, normally, last I checked, about 9,000 GE when you do go ahead and buy it full price. And like I said, it's a different playstyle. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below on the MiG-21S. Do you guys think it has aged good in War Thunder? Do you guys think it's aged poorly in War Thunder? If you think it's aged poorly, why? If you think it's aged well, why do you think it's aged well? And if you like it, let me know down below. If you hate it, let me know down below. I just want to know what your guys' thoughts are, just in general. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it, and I will see you guys in the next one.